Hello, I'm Lara and I studied my foundation at Kingston University and then I studied my BA at Camberwell College of Arts where I studied fine art photography, and that is under a UAL university, which is University Arts London. So I initially chose fine art photography because I thought that it would be a challenge, and I wanted to push the boundaries of what photography is and kind of explore how photography can be different from just kind of like straightforward, this is a photograph. I usually work in the medium of performance art and live art, and then I kind of weave this together with spoken word poetry, painting, watercolour paintings, and ceramics, and this kind of all gets woven into a kind of performative site specific installation. I predominantly used to use printmaking and drawing as my main kind of medium. And then once I then got to art school, I was like, whoa, there are all these different mediums that I can use. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love performance art. It's like my thing. This is what I want to do. And then I found ceramics. And so just kind of like having the variation of subjects and like, no, you could try all of those out. I love poetry. I love time and space. I love finding and creating portals. I like all sorts of things. And one of my main kind of interests is the relationship between performance art and documentation. So, performance art is like really live, it's in the present moment, it kind of happens and then it's gone. And then documentation is very like stuck and it's within the frames of the image. It's a picture or it's a film, and it's kind of different from the actual performance. It's happening after the performance has happened. So I like kind of playing with the relationship between these two and how maybe the performance itself can then have an impact on the picture that's left behind, so that it isn't quite a perfect representation. I like to kind of create images that aren't representative of what actually happened in the performance, because they're two different things. So I like to kind of separate them and then create two different pieces of artwork. One way that I research is kind of like through reading, through going to different galleries, going to see plays, going to see music, even just going for a walk and taking like pictures from that. The most important thing that I learned at art school was to always trust your guts. You tend to like feel what's right and what's wrong and go with those feelings. Your tutor will give you amazing advice, and it's definitely good to listen to everything they say in that form, but sometimes they might be like, oh, maybe you need to just do this thing instead, and actually like you really want to make this sculptural piece, do it. Another really important thing that I learned from art school was like being in the studio every day and talking to my friends and engaging in critique, because sometimes like you look at your art for ages and you're like, oh, I don't know, I'm at a block. And then your friend will come along and be like, oh, this reminds me of this blah 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 and this artist, and you're like, oh my god, like that's exactly what I needed. I would like to continue doing the work that I'm currently doing, which is to help art students to create portfolios for higher art education, and also just providing tutorage and support for students. I also have a studio, and which is a ceramic studio, and I sell a lot of ceramics through that way. And also just to keep making, keep performing, keep drawing, keep painting. The advice that I would give an aspiring young fine artist is to keep a sketchbook. Now, you probably hear it a lot from your teachers, but it's really important, and I'm here to tell you that you need to carry on with your sketchbook work, because even if it's just like drawing in it every day, just like a random scribble or whatever, just do it, because it will make you better. It will make you better at drawing, and it will just help you in all sorts of ways. So these are some of my sketchbooks. I'm just going to give you a quick example. And this is just like drawing people's faces in literally in the classroom. That's what I would do. And that's kind of nice thing to do. I did the foundation. And even kind of things that you would consider kind of little scribbles and writing. It's just good to get that out there. Also, like to make my own sketchbooks, which is a fun thing to do, and I'd recommend you trying it. And this is just from sheets of paper and gum tape, and you just wet the gum strip and then place the paper on each side of it, and you just literally layer it up, add it up, add it up, and it just kind of keeps going. And this is all like research from exhibitions that I went to, artists that I like, things that people have told me that might relate, essays, books, quotes from books, pictures I found and scanned, and you just put it all in one place, and it just helps you to like write about it and know what you want to do. Okay, so thank you for watching, and good luck with everything. Carry on being an artist because it's really important, and we need artists in this world.